Twinset and Purl's knitting podcast. It's going to be a bonus episode all about Unravel. It's the February Unravel that we've just been to.
It's a Sunday morning. We're a
bit tired.
Tired, low of energy, but full of heart.
I'm Jo.
I'm Rachel.
And we are twins who knit together and design together as Twinset and Purl. And we have our Twinset and Purl knitting podcast.
Yeah.
So usually we talk about our FOs, our whips, acquisitions, our new designs, things that we like, all sorts of things.
So if you're new here,
yeah, this isn't a normal episode.
You want to go back to it.
We won't be showing any of our projects, although I do have one.
Yeah, and it's only been a week since we podcast.
Yeah, so but we will be sharing the acquisitions that we made at the show, and also just some info and I don't know, all the lovely people we met, and just a little bit of
let's just say what we were going our goal at the show was.
Well, the one thing I wanted was to buy some wool wash,
and I wanted to buy not buy any yarn.
But that went out the window.
Yeah, that went out the window. We kind of it wasn't that wasn't your plan.
No.
So obviously I got a bit like, well, wait till you see what I got and then you'll see why.
I think you've got a plan for everything though.
I do,
so,
yeah. And some of it is, and a couple of things are
knit samples for people and stuff.
So yeah. Anyway,
it's not too bad. Sorry about that.
So Unravel, if you don't know, it's twice a year.
It's one of the older yarn festivals, I think.
It's in Farnham Maltings, which is a really good venue in Farnham, which is quite a small English town, I would say. Very quaint.
Yeah, lots of black and white buildings with slightly saggy roofs and
very old English town.
Yeah, small shops.
Yeah.
Lots of nice places to go and eat and have cake and just have a wander around. So if you do fancy going for the festival but you don't want to do every day at the yarn show, there's definitely stuff to do
round and about. And there's a yarn shop in the town. And but this one is far busier than the autumn one.
So the February one's 3 days.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We've worked there a couple of times with our friend Sophie from Botanical Yarn, and my impression is that Friday is for the serious knitters who take the day off work, want to go, they want to get don't want to miss out on anything, so they go as soon as it opens, and it's quite busy on a Friday, busier on a Saturday.
No,
Sunday we haven't been for a couple of years, but Sunday
I think it's constant but much more manageable if you don't like a crowd.
Yeah, and they do have an early slot, a 9:30 slot, which is 4 people with, isn't it? Is it still for that? Used to be that they had a slot where they didn't sell as many tickets and it was a bit quieter.
Yeah, I don't know. There were still tickets available then. We went early because of Jo having her pattern launch with Anne and Eve, which we will talk about in a minute. Yeah, so impressions of the show was it was busy.
Yeah. I felt like it was much more curated this year with the vendors.
Some new ones, some a lot of people who like Unravel.
Devotees.
Yeah. So no, it was lovely. It was really good. There was another room open that isn't normally open in the September one, and
it is a little bit. The venue is quite small rooms. It's not like going to a big sports hall or
like the Southern
or that kind of venue. It's definitely there's lots of little stairs. There are lifts. They're a bit annoying, but it is possible to get around. And it's a lovely.
I wouldn't have wanted to be a wheelchair user. on Friday or Saturday.
No.
But there were people, and people,
Yeah,
obviously
you
people get out of the way.
Yeah, you have
purposely didn't take my walker.
Yeah, you have
because,
taken it in the past.
Yeah, it just becomes annoying to try and get up and down the stairs with it.
Or in the lift.
Because I can go downstairs, okay. I can go up a few stairs, but I can't go up a lot. Well, I annoy people because I go so slow. Anyway, no, we had a lovely time. Yeah. I would say it's been. We met some amazing.
We always go early. We leave here early so that we can get a disabled parking space.
Yeah.
And we're so happy when we get the one we like. It's really sad.
We got the same one each day.
And then, so we got a coffee and something to eat from the little cafe, and we sat and waited for it to open. And then we just purposely we were meeting some.
So we're going to kind of tell you chronologically what happened, because it's the easiest way to show the yarn
and not forget
anything.
Things.
Yeah.
So we had a few. We were going to meet some friends before I was having to do my slot at Nellie and Eve at 11.
But we didn't manage to.
We didn't manage to in the end. But anyway, we went down to the cellar because last year we did that.
Second day.
Yeah. And we didn't want to miss out anything there. So we went down and we saw, there were lots of nice things down there, but we saw the lovely Ishrat.
The lighting, I have to say, because it can be quite dingy in some of the rooms. They had it definitely improved the lighting. Yeah.
So we saw Ishrat. We haven't seen Ishrat for a while. She didn't do very many shows last year. She had a lot going on in her family, but it was lovely to see her again.
Yeah, we love you, Ish.
Yeah, we had a swish of her yarn.
Don't think you watch, but
and then we were saying, "Oh, we're not buying yarn," so we didn't buy any yarn, but we did buy. I did.
Joe bought. And if we could have Feel a Vision.
Yeah, it's so soft. It's velvet with this beautiful floral design, and the bit that I really love about it is the pockets are also in that material, so it makes it really really special.
Yeah,
it's got this lovely linen kind of.
It's made
textured.
by a friend of his, isn't it?
Yeah, Atelier des Muslims.
I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on. Let me see.
Muslimas. And L'Atelier. Anyway, Ishrat sells lots of different colours. I chose the neutral background because that's.
She wanted to go for a brightish blue, teal, and I suggested that she went for this one because
you think I'd like this
long term. I think you'd like that one.
It's got lovely cord through it, and then this nice linen. And Ishrat was showing them with it turned down, and you knit it out of it like a bowl. And it's got a thing on here for, on the outside for things, and also a clip inside, and then six pockets inside, and it's quite a decent, size for a shawl or probably a sweat beginning of a sweater. But I really love that, and it's got this.
So Ishrat is fruitful fusion.
Yeah, I've done. We've both done designs with her yarn.
We'll link everyone's Instagram below.
Yeah. So I did Monsoon Season Cowl with her, and you did the London Nightwalk socks, which are a charity.
Yeah, they're a charity pattern for a charity called Solace UK.
Yeah. And next to Ishrat was
Malika.
And she does jewellery using beads
and crochet yarn, isn't it? So
yeah.
She had a little sale section, so we both got a pair, and they are lovely. And we should be wearing them, but when you've got a big shawl on, it is a bit. But I wore mine out on Saturday night.
These were the ones we saw first,
Friday night,
and I were like, they're beautiful, and they've got these lovely different.
So they're both the same style.
Yeah, they've got like 4 or 5 different colours of beads that tone in with the yarn, and they're just gorgeous.
And mine are
Are
great.
you at the same size?
No,
yours
mine's
is
slightly bigger.
Yours go with what I'm wearing today.
You could wear them if you want.
So
Yeah, so they're beautiful.
yeah, I wore them yesterday. They're so light. I didn't even a lot of times didn't realise I even had them in. But I would say that they're possibly a tiny bit fancy for every day for me. But maybe in the summer with like a plain t-shirt and you're not wearing a shawl around your neck. But no, or going out. I think they're lovely. And yeah, she does some amazing like wire crochet.
Yeah, and you
stuff
can
as
buy
well,
kits
doesn't
from
she?
there as well.
Yeah.
She used to. Did you have kits?
She didn't have. I don't think she had kits there.
She used to sell kits.
Yeah.
And she used to sell like sets of stitch markers and progress keepers.
She had some of those on the other table.
Anyway, we'll link her Instagram because she's definitely worth. It's definitely worth going to have a look. I mean,
is she going to be at a big flock?
I don't know actually, but this year's like little extra gift with this Fibre Fox advent was a set for stitch markers and which I still have two to give you some.
Oh right.
Anyway, they're just beautiful stuff. So then we
made our way up to the barley room. We had a look round, but we didn't get anything else, I don't think.
When did I go? We went to Bird Street. Was that afterwards?
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
I think it was in between 11 and 1, 12 and
Okay.
1. So we had a look around the barley room, and we got a couple of things in the barley room before I...
Something for you guys.
Yeah. So we're going to have a...
So we've got a
little gift away.
for our...
So we had a long chat with the Wool Kitchen, who Rachel's doing her new design with.
Yeah, for... we think in time for Big Flock.
Yeah. And then we saw this lovely lady, Made by Me.
Oh, was that?
Love and Me by Gail. She was just opposite, and I saw this fabric was on a big bag, and I wouldn't have used it. Quite a big bag. I wouldn't have used it, but then she had this lovely little pouch, which is quite neutral. Velvety fabric on one side, and then these two lovely ladies' faces. And I just love the colours. It's beautiful. And then
I got
inside,
a big,
like the inside is
very pretty.
Yeah, floral.
I got a
You've got a
and
nice
she always
big-
puts a lovely tassel on the end.
Yeah.
I got a nice big pyramid bag in this crazy. It's actually sparkly. I don't know if you can see. Yes, oh you can. I love it.
It's really cool.
And
it's like it's got something behind it, but it hasn't.
And that's the
Like this neutral. It looks like it's over the top or something, but it's.
Yeah, so that is lovely for a shawl. I didn't want a sock one again because it can be quite difficult sometimes to fit the cake in
a pyramid one.
Yeah, so you could put socks in that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it does.
So I'm
squish
probably
down,
I'm probably going to use that to put stuff in my handbag rather than.
because that's lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all we bought. Oh no, then we bought those.
Yeah.
Before we went for lunch. No.
And then we saw these little.
Let me just quickly say though, because on Friday it was Valentine's Day, Jo did a very lovely thing, and she made little progress keepers for us to give to anybody who recognised us. So, hi everyone who got stitch marker, progress keeper. Anyway, they were this lovely little, all sorts of colours. Well, girly colours, weren't they? Pink and orange,
Pink and purple,
and made it into a little progress keeper. And this is my one. Have you got one?
No, but I have. Yeah, I saved myself 3 that I really like.
Of course.
They all match. They're the same. There were only three of that
Yeah,
one.
so
in
it
fact,
was. So every time we saw anybody come up to us or we had a chat with somebody that we knew as well, gave them a progress keeper because it was Valentine's Day.
And we saw. Are we going to do this? So we got these from.
And then
the Cold Harbour Mill, they do their own fabric, and this was
they've got tartans, haven't they? That are,
they've actually had them registered in Scotland as a tartan.
That one's a Somerset one, isn't it?
Yeah. And I love the pink zip, so I got this one.
Mine's quite a dark.
Yeah,
very beautiful.
And then inside mine is a gingham. Which is lovely.
Mine is little Russian dolls.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, navy blue.
And then we got you guys one. So this is part of the gift away.
And you also have a progress keeper and some heart stitch markers that Joe made.
And nobody else got those.
No.
I only made 2 of those.
That's what part of the prize you could probably pop them in.
Yeah, it's got paper in it.
Put that in.
And inside of the all one, whoever wins this one is like a blue Delft almost pattern. We'll pop those in there. And then I did my little stint on the Nelly and Eve stand, talking to people about the Rachel shawl.
Which we are modelling.
Yeah, this was my FO. I managed to get it finished on Thursday night and steamed, ready to take to the show. It's very quite difficult to show. But this is a merino silk lace.
Well, it's the same lace as same lace pattern.
And everybody, they got lots and lots of love. They loved that. People loved the pattern.
We talked about it a lot in our last episode because this was my FO last time. So and not that you can't talk about it a lot now. I'm not meaning that. What I mean is
we've
been through it.
Yeah, this isn't really about this, but Helen had some beautiful colours in her update, and she's got an online update on the 1st of March. And Helen has exclusive rights to the pattern until after Wonderwool Wales, which is the end of April. We'd originally thought it would be Easter, but she'd asked if she could have it for Wonderwool, so we've said yes, because her yarn is so beautiful and we want her to do really well.
We do.
So
she had the most amazing. I ended up not with the blues were just beautiful.
So we actually purchased yarn from Helen on the day after, so that's chronologically it's but I was looking through all the colours and I knew I wanted one of them, and then I wanted a colour to go with it for my new shawl design, and I couldn't decide and I kept swapping over, and I was like, do I want that? And it was just and in the end I went for what I'd gone for, which is perfect. Anyway, we'll show you that a bit later on. So it was lovely to meet Helen's customers and new people there, and
Helen's lovely sister.
Yeah, Helen's sister. She was learning all the jargon, the knitting jargon. She's not a knitter, but she's there obviously to give Helen a hand. And she was so sweet. So Helen's yarn blew me away. Actually, I really wanted. There's one that she does with rhubarb, which is just my colour. It's like the murky green, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out. I'm going to join her newsletter list so that I know when things are coming.
Have a look on the update on the 1st of March.
So she's having an update on the 1st of March, and then she'll be at Wonderwool Wales at the end of April.
Yeah. And she does a podcast.
Yeah.
So the Nelly and Eve podcast. So check her out. When we will link her Instagram below.
Cool. And then we went out for lunch. No, we went to Bird Street.
Yeah, we went to Bird Street and we bumped into Kirsty and Tracy from Wool & Wishes, who were who we were trying to meet up with before, because we actually wanted to do a bit of shopping with them. So we did do some shopping after Bird Street.
They bought the same Bird Street yarn. Both of them bought the same.
Yeah. Which one?
They bought the a blue and a green from the Yak. I can't remember what they're called.
Lulworth and the green one. And because they're knitting, I can't can't remember, patina shawl? Something that's got something in the middle.
It's a mosaic.
And then either side is each colour.
Yeah.
I can't remember what she called it. Anyway, I'm sure they will talk about it on their podcast. Anyway, I want to knit when I do the test knit for Joe's new shawl, which is going to be the Alexander shawl. I want to knit it in Bird Street yarn so that they can have a sample for when we launch. Not that it's there in their yarn or anything, but they support us so much, and they love. They want.
They were saying that half the rack of their samples are Twinset and Purl,
and they want when we have a new shawl, when we can launch it with, when they can. They couldn't have had this one to launch on the same day, but we can have. So anyway, Joe chose these actually, and I enjoy knitting with them so much. So these are both on their yak.
Oh, the yak yarn.
It's their newest base, isn't it? Yeah. And they've got, this is called Barricane and Hepburn. What's Barricane? Is that a place or something? Because they had one bit of it is the colours that they've already dyed on other, so they have Cherie on this, and they have Hepburn and Bacall and all that was a range on their normal base, their normal sock base that they dyed onto the yak, and then they had a series of colours from places and mountains and things they like. So anyway, that's probably one of those.
And that was definitely blues and like watery colours, wasn't it?
So I've got a skein of Lulworth from before, because that's the first place Joe and I had an ice cream. About 1 year old. So anyway, this is going to be an Alexander, and it's beautiful. And I know that I will want to knit more than one, so I'm happy to knit them a sample first for the first thing.
And then we went for lunch.
So then we did wander around a bit with.
Yes.
And we discovered that last minute almost, Zakami Yarns had been given a room to themselves, which is the kiln. Is it the kiln? The loft. I don't know. Right?
South something.
It's where in the last few years Garth Nor have had the whole room, but it was amazing for them, I think.
Yeah.
And you went back the next day and bought some yarn from them, but we didn't.
And I had a lovely chat with I can't remember the lady's name. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I had a lovely chat with her, and she was asking if we were going to the Woolly Good Gathering, is that, or the Woolly Gathering, which is her yarn festival in Edinburgh. She's part of the organising committee, and I said I was visiting my dad that weekend in the Isle of Man, so I wouldn't be able to go. But she said they have a designer area, and we can send some samples with QR codes, and somebody will look after them, and people can try them on. And
we could just send Cecil and Simon, maybe.
Yeah, we can send up some samples. So
that's cool.
I'm going to email her, and we'll be in touch about that. So that's exciting.
Yeah. So while Jo was doing her stuff, I was chatting to people, and some lovely. I don't know whether to say names, because we're not going to remember. I may not remember everybody, but some lovely people, and we were going for lunch with two people who follow us and like Gaia and Dorita.
Dorita test knits.
Yeah,
for me.
And I was sat down having a rest, and Gaia came and found me, so we were chatting to her, and then Belinda Harris-Reed, who is the owner of the Knitting Hotel, and she's a designer, and we've known her for years. She
used to come to shows and sell her yarn
years ago.
But she still sells yarn, but she doesn't do shows anymore, does she?
And she is, what's the word I'm looking for? Not flamboyant. She's flamboyant. Yeah, she's so lovely. But she had a friend with her called Maria, and Maria watches the podcast, and lives quite locally to me. And it turns out that she is one of the nurses from one of the teams and they ring you up regularly to see how you are. So we've spoken on the phone. She knew who I was, but I didn't know who. And so it's lovely to have. We're going to meet up and knit together because she lives nearby. So that was really lovely. So then we went to when we were at Bird Street. I went to give Claire a hug. Dorita was behind Claire, came in behind Claire and thought I was giving her a hug. So I hugged Dorita and then I hugged Claire. That was really funny. She's literally right behind. It was so funny. It's like when you wave at someone and you go, and then it's the person behind them. So so that was lovely. So then we went for lunch and to a lovely little pub called the Lost Boy.
And we were sat in the conservatory.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
So the light was perfect.
Yeah.
I did a bit of knitting.
And the lovely Conchita from Butternut Handmade, who we support quite a lot. You know, she's given us prizes in the past, and we love her bags. She was walking past. She'd been to the show, and she was walking past, and she saw us, and she popped in to say hello. She's actually testing for you at the moment, isn't she? And that was lovely. And then we went back to the show. So we were there for about an hour and a half. It was about 3 o'clock.
Dorita left a bit earlier than the rest of us because her husband brings her to shows, and he goes off cycling, and she gets as long as he's cycling for to look around the show. She wanted to go back and have another look round.
And we hadn't been meaning to go back. We were going to do it like we did last time, a lot less, but we wanted to go back because we hadn't done the Great Hall or anything. So we did. So then we went back and we did more of the show.
Yeah. Why did we go back down to the cellar? We'd seen a bag that Wool and Wishes had bought.
We bumped into them again outside when we came back from the pub. And
they showed us what they got. And they'd got a really lovely bag from Rosie's Moments.
So we went back downstairs.
But she picked the best fabric, hadn't she?
Yeah.
So
we decided not to get one.
Get one from them.
And then we walked around the corner.
But I was just thinking we went to Wool. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jo loves. I also love, but Jo absolutely adores Lilliput White. And you hadn't seen them for a while, had you?
No, I last saw them at the Sudbury Yarn Over.
Yeah. And
she was telling us she's got a full-time job, so she can't do so many shows. She has to take holiday to do shows.
Yeah.
But it was so lovely to see her.
So we picked. You were looking for buttons really as well, weren't you?
Well, I've got a new design in my head.
Percolating.
Which needs buttons. And I'm going to do them with this lady, which we did see. We went there before we went here.
Did we? Okay.
Because we had already had the conversation with her when I saw those. So this lady was in. This was before lunch, I think.
I'm not sure why it's called Ethel and Joan. If they were Ethel and Joan, it's her mum and her and her mum. So no, they're called Ethel. We don't know what their names are. But the shop is Ethel and Joan. She
makes all of the buttons and stitch markers and everything by hand. She gets the perspex or whatever. And so I got some little tulip progress,
and I got some clouds with glitter, sparkle.
And a little ring, which is really cute.
And then we both got elephant
stitch stoppers.
Needle stoppers. And they had dinosaurs, and so definitely worth looking at.
And they had some beautiful buttons that I'm going to use.
Yeah. And we got these for you guys to go with as part of the prize. So the prizes for Unravel our 3-year podiversary, and potentially any minute. I don't want to preempt it because we haven't quite got there, but we're nearly at 5,000 followers on Instagram. So it's kind of a celebration of of that. So that's another part of the. So I'm going to pop those in your little pouch as well. And she also gave us these sweeties, which we thought we'd give, because depending on where you are in the world, we'll ship worldwide. You may never have tried them. They're called Parma Violets. So everyone in England is probably going, no, it's definitely,
people like them.
People like them and other people don't like them. But you can eat them and throw them away, or you can, so then we made it, really put white.
And I got these little progress keepers.
And I got these. So she does semi-precious that she finds.
You've got the ones that are
jewellery that's been, or beads that are semi-precious stones.
Yeah, and mine is broken and unloved jewellery found in charity shops. But I like a progress keeper for my the shawls, because I use one for each section.
So you like a matching.
But you have to have it removable. I actually could do with more. I think I need 6 and I've only got 5. I need 6 the same,
right,
to work on a shawl. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I'm sure you don't need them all to match.
No, I don't need them all to match. But I prefer a progress keeper to a stitch marker in that instance.
All my bits in my pouch.
Yeah. So they're lovely. Mine are like little pearly ones with a coloured rainbow. And yours were like, you went for a bit more muted than I thought you were going to.
Yeah.
And then I got these buttons.
Is it cord?
Yeah, it's like needle cord. Yeah. I really love the colours. I don't know what I'm going to use them for.
Sew them on a bag.
Possibly a version of this shawl that I'm going to make.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What does it say? I have raided the leftovers of local makers to bring you this range of scrap bag buttons. So yeah, I think it's lovely that she uses bits that, like tiny bits that most people would throw away.
And I don't know if I've had one before. I've got a button. I've got a badge like that.
Yeah.
Was it from her?
Yeah.
It's magnetic, and your stitch markers will stick to it in your little pot.
That's going to be amazing, because you lose stitch markers like nothing on earth.
So so I chose this, of course, navy blue, and it's like a cord that's stitched together to make this little bowl, and a magnetic. So it's really cute. So that was till we went in the Great Hall.
Yeah.
And
then we went to.
So you can see we were clearly having fun.
The Great Hall. Where did we look first? She came in. There was the threshing
barn, had quite a long,
which was a lot of fibre and weaving and spinning supplies.
We have bought stuff from them in the past.
Yeah, and then there was the crafty bird.
Yeah.
And her stand was really busy, so we didn't stop. We didn't stop there. We went to see Jem, the little grey girl.
She always lets me have her chair.
Yeah. And her stand. She got some lovely new colours.
Yes.
So you bought yarn. I didn't buy yarn from Jem, but we both got a bag. And I saw this.
No, we got the bag first, didn't we?
I saw this and I was just like, I need a bag with a cat on it. So I got neon cats.
And
you got neon rabbits.
So cute.
And we had to rummage through to find the one where he hadn't lost his ears.
And mine's got gold glittery stars on it.
Oh, let me see. I didn't notice that. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. I wish I'd had this when I knit my Mammy and Florrie socks. Anyway, I shall
Mine
find
doesn't
something.
have any metallic.
I shall find something apropos.
It has these lovely ball thingies that look like berries.
But we love her back. We love her webbing. It's amazing, and the fact that it's there, and you can knit your socks out of it or hang it as Jo does in the airplane.
I hang it over the arm of my chair at work.
Oh, very good. No, they're beautiful. So we will link Little Grey Girl below. And I saw this, I don't know if it's a continuing theme of my love of orange yarn from when I designed the Aperitivo socks. So I saw this one called Foxham, which is on her high twist sock base, and it's just gorgeous.
It's a lovely sort of muted, and it's definitely got tones.
So I started thinking about. It made me think of doing a myeloma sock, but we then decided that I should get the fluff to match, which is Gem's Surrey Cloud is 65-35, 65 baby Surrey alpaca and 35 silk, and it's 500 grams, that's 400 meters. So this is going to be, guess what it's going to be? A sign. So yeah, that might get bumped up the queue of Simons. And Jo's going to take it away and wind it for me nicely. Her winder's the best winder. Yeah, and then we wandered around and we saw lovely Ted was the next person we really chatted to, wasn't it? Who was around the other side? We didn't go. They were opposite Gem that side. We didn't go up onto the.
No, because
it's very difficult. The steps aren't even.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for me to go up the steps to look at the top.
And it was Toft alpaca,
which we're not interested in. And somebody else that we thought it wasn't, we weren't, let's just say, very happy with what we bought.
Yeah.
And who we bought from. So, so then we chatted to Ted and got a Ted hug, which it's not Unravel without a Ted hug. And then next, around the corner from Ted was Mammy and Florrie.
Yeah.
Amy, lovely Amy, who we visited in November when we were on our way up to Yorkshire Yarn Fest. And she was there with her husband and with her beautiful yarn and her amazing Simon, which had much, much love. And a lot of people had bought the pink fluff or the blue to make a sign, including Gaia. She'd been able to buy it because of Doritos. And so I got a skein to do the myeloma socks. So this is called Pumpkins at the Botanical Gardens in Glasgow.
And what are your 3 words?
My 3 words are steep, haven and sizes. Because Amy always, her yarn is yarn inspired by places. So she always puts the what 3 words so you can find the place. And this is just her adventure sock, which is BFL nylon, which is lovely. And this is going to be this year's myeloma sock, which I wasn't sure. We weren't sure I was even going to do one. We kind of thought maybe we'll just refocus on the old pattern, go back over the old patterns. But no, I'm going to do it. And it's beautiful. So that's going to happen. And Jo bought some.
Well, I'm in love with merino singles at the moment.
Is this for? This isn't for the one where you're going to have a colourway.
No.
With Amy. No.
I don't know. We haven't really talked about that again yet. But this is called Ice Wind in Reykjavik.
Wow.
And
they are all places she's been.
Yeah, it's just lovely. And my what 3 words are figure, diggers, energy. And I got 2 skeins of that.
That just reminds me of don't know, like a cat, like a Taylor Swift's cat.
Yeah. So I've got an idea for a garter shawl with eyelets. So and then I want to put a really bright pop of mohair as the eye cord, and this is the colour we went for. It is Vondel Park, Amsterdam, and the what 3 words are grass helped staked. And I've yet to work out whether I need to hold this double or whether I'll hold it with that,
just add it and
or
it'll be,
whatever. So
that's your idea that you're gonna
So I've got an idea for that.
Beautiful. Wonder if she'd do some with navy blue instead of black.
But yeah.
For me.
You have to find a picture. Take her somewhere. Yeah, so that was
Amy,
the last.
can you come to Didcot?
That was
Rachel's house,
yeah.
navy blue.
Yeah, that was my last purchase.
You could do Rachel's kitchen
on the Friday, and then
Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry. My
And
kitchen
then-
navy blue and grey. Right. Yes, Amy, lovely Amy, gave us a skein of yarn to give to you guys. And we thought, we didn't have it, we didn't get this out, but this is the skein. And this is called Paragliders over Mamtor. Mamtor. Thought there was. My
And
eyesight.
the what 3 words are Alpha Slings Fenced,
And it's on the adventure sock.
Adventure Sock, and
No,
it's not.
soft sock. Oh.
But
merino then.
I don't know, but you could definitely knit a 1 skeiner. So
Yeah.
we were going to give a pattern as well, weren't
Yeah.
we?
And a pattern of your choice, so you can knit socks.
So you can have socks, the Power of 3, a 1 skein Morris. So
yeah, whatever. Even if you do a pattern, you don't want to knit with this, but you can have
one of our patterns.
and that is the prize. Plus, it will all come in this Mammy and Florrie
Drawstring backpack.
bag. So that is the prize for
The gift away.
yeah. So let us know what you want people to say.
Oh,
Why don't they say what pattern they would like? No, then you can't. Yeah, because we can sort that. We don't need to sort it by a word. If they said what pattern they would like, then we'd know from the winner what pattern they'd like. No. How about saying socks or shawls? I don't know. What do you think?
we should have thought about this before.
Yeah, we should have.
Right, let's go through
I
day
know.
2 and then we'll.
Let's just say if you want to be in with the prize, have Unravel in your reply, your comment.
Yeah.
So you can say that you went to Unravel or you didn't
Been in the past, or you've never
or
been,
you've never been, you'd
or
like to go. So just mention Unravel,
Yeah.
and then we will pick the prize winner next podcast, which is in 2 weeks'
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So day 2.
So in the evening, we went back to our hotel. We normally, we've stayed in quite a few.
This is
We've stayed in quite a few places.
Yeah.
In for Unravel, like when we worked with Sophie, we stayed in an Airbnb a couple of
above
times.
Gales, isn't it?
And then we stayed in that other one,
Yeah.
like a little flat. And
We've
the
stayed
last couple of years, we've stayed in the Premier Inn,
which is okay. They're always okay, aren't they?
yeah.
So
And then
this time I found they treated us to a hotel,
which was really near.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of town, called the Bush Hotel, and it's lovely.
Yeah,
Really lovely.
yeah, it was. Rachel rang up and said that she.
No, I wrote on my note when I booked
right.
that I needed a disabled parking space, if possible, because they have a car park. When we got there, Joe was like, "Oh, the disabled space is free." So we pulled up, and on this board was a note that said, reserved for Rachel Fletcher. we couldn't believe it. We were both like, how important we are. So we parked up and we said,
and then we checked in, and Guy brought our bags to the room and
asked if he could help us in any way. We were like, a martini and
so we had a bit of a relax,
and then we went out to meet Bird Street Yarn and Mammy and Florrie. So Amy and Claire and John, and we can't remember Amy's husband's name. Amy's husband. And we went for a lovely dinner at Bill's. And I booked it for 6 o'clock, and I told Claire and John 6 o'clock, and then I got it into my head that it was. I told Amy and her husband it was 6:30, and we thought it was 6:30. So we arrived. We got there at 6:15, and as we went in, I said to the guy, "Oh, the booking's for Rachel Fletcher. I'm sorry we were a bit early."
And he said, "Some of your friends are already here."
And then Claire and John went, and I looked, and it was 6 o'clock. I thought he didn't really realise something, but I was thinking, me coming in going, we're a bit early, we're a bit of a nutter. Anyway, we had a lovely meal, and then we walked back.
It was funny, wasn't it?
Like
because
100 yards.
You and Amy had the same thing, and me and Amy's husband had the same thing.
Yeah,
it was really nice, really tasty. Would well recommend Bill's. Then we went back to. It was early because everybody's so tired because they set up the day before and had their full days, and then you also knew they've got another 2 days to go. So it was fairly early night.
I was desperate for a crunchy, and the lady at the front desk offered me some dark chocolate mints, but I didn't want them.
And a hot chocolate, and you weren't interested in that. No. Anyway, then we're walking back to our room, and we saw a group of people knitting in the bar. So we kind of popped our heads around. We were like, "Oh, you're knitters. You're going to Unravel as well."
We're knitters.
And it turned out that they were a group of ladies from Iceland. There were about 6 of them, and they're in a group of 30 that have come over from Iceland. So if anybody's watching, we'll just say hi. And
then the next day they came to see you, didn't they?
Yeah, at Nellie and Eve.
Do you need to blow your nose?
No, it's just totally bunged out.
All right. I just realised how nasally.
Yeah. So apologies everybody, my voice is a bit weird, but I've had I don't know, it's been days now. I've got a pain all down my neck and I've gone on my collarbone, which is really awkward. Anyway, so it's lovely to see. We're lovely to chat to people. And we were. They followed us on. They asked who we were. We followed us,
which might be how we're so close to.
And we told them about our patterns, and they were telling us about the fact that they. I guess the knitting scene in the UK is probably quite different from the knitting scene in Iceland, and they all spoke really amazing English, and they were talking about the knit patterns in all sorts of languages. The only one they couldn't do is Finnish. Apparently, it's very different from the other Nordic languages.
You bonded with a lady with large glasses that Joanne was quite envious of.
So it was lovely. We had a lovely look. Then we went back to the room and watched Gogglebox and did some knitting.
Went to sleep.
Got up in the morning and
did our 1 minute. It took us 2 minutes maybe to get
around the corner to back to Unravel. We parked up. We sat. It was bitterly cold and raining.
Should I say about the headboard?
No. And then we so we went into Unravel. We went and sat in the cafe and had a coffee and a bun
for breakfast.
And then wound our way.
We went to the Tyndall room because we hadn't been there properly, and you wanted to see
Urban Purl.
And Jo,
this is knit. My version of Rachel was knit in Urban Purl's yarn, and it is beautiful and totally very lightweight. Obviously, it's a lace weight, and one skein because the lace is 600 meters.
Beautiful.
So we've got a shawl out of one skein.
So heavy lace.
And yeah, we were chatting to, we don't know the lady's name, do we? But the Urban Purl. She's lovely. She's got some beautiful yarn. And I got this yarn. And you ordered some.
I pre-ordered her Gothic, what's it called? Got something Gothic collection. It's from, it's based on Penny Dreadful series on Netflix, which is or Prime, which is the thing, isn't it? It's Alfred?
I don't know anything about Penny Dreadful.
All right, anyway, sorry, I don't know.
But she's got some beautiful colours, and it was navy, wasn't it? Navy and like plum and neutral.
And then with neutral with some speckles on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I saw this yarn and it was like, I want
Game
it.
over.
I want it. This is the Silky Singles, 400 metres, 70% 70% superwash merino, 30% silk in the colourway ammonite. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe a new design, but this was the corresponding mohair, and I fell in love.
Yes.
So this is silk mohair lace, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. And I might just hold them together and knit a one skate, like knit a garter, but that would probably be sacrilege to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love it.
I thought her name might be on her Instagram, so I was looking
Yeah.
for it, but it's not.
So I could stripe it and do like a big shawl.
Magnolia Heaven.
Yeah, love it. So that was my first purchase of Saturday. And you haven't got yours to show because...
No, mine's a pre-order.
Yeah.
And then you went up to Nellie and Eve, didn't you?
I bought this. Did I buy this before Nellie and Eve?
Oh, no, did we go to Bird Street again? Because I left my coat with them, didn't I?
Yeah.
And this is what I bought from Bird Street for myself. And this is going to be my Claire shawl. This is their newest colour, which is called Biscuit. And it's a bit pinker than it's showing on the screen. It's a very pale beigey pink, which is beautiful. And I got the Surrey to go with it. So that I'm going to knit Claire with that.
I would go down in needle size.
Yeah.
Some of my testers are finding it hard to get it out of the same amount of yarn that I did.
But so I do have an in with the dyer.
Yeah.
So I might be okay.
Yeah, because Surrey generally has like Gems is 400 metres, but Surrey generally is 300.
So you went there. I went there and you went to Zakami.
No, I was with you when you bought that.
Right. What was I looking at then?
And we went and looked at the camel's yarn again. And then I went and bought this, but I don't know if it was before, I don't know when in the whether it was after 12 or before 12.
So it's not really.
No, not really a problem. Yeah, so I went back to Nellie and Eve and did another hour chatting to people, which was lovely. It was lovely to...
That was before.
That was it. So we'd been in Zakami the day before, and I just love they've got a relatively new base, the Baby Llama, and I got this yarn, which is Ladybird colourway.
How many metres is that?
That's 400 metres.
Oh, right.
I've got no idea what I'm going to make, but I'm quite I like neutrals, but I am a sucker for this red colour. I think it suits me.
So I don't know. A t-shirt.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to make out of it
because it's more of a twist than singles, isn't it?
It's got a twist, yeah.
Why don't you knit a tee? A ladybird tea.
Yeah. I don't know, but I just love that colour. And it really, like, they've got a lot of stuff that appeals to me, like the murky colours and the whatever. And then I saw that and I was just like, that's it. And I was listening to, there was a guy buying some bright green, so almost not quite as bright as that.
Yeah.
Boot clay to knit a vest, and he was also buying it on another base to knit something else. And the person he was with, so he was holding it all, and he was like, oh, and the person he was with was like, go with your gut. That was what you like settled on. Don't like then second guess yourself and go with something else. Go with what you. And so that is what I did. I'm going to listen to you, lady, whoever you are, and I'm going to get the red.
Cool. Brilliant. So then you went to Nellie and Eve.
Then I went to Nellie
And just a little by the by, we saw a lot of lovely Simons. Because the first time we walked in and we saw a lady with a Simon. And she then went up to Nellie and Eve, bought the kit
for the Rachel.
And then we saw another lady who was wearing her Simon, and she said, I'm not going to wear it anymore. If one more person touches me and asks me if I got what my beautiful shawl is. So I was like, okay. That was funny. No, she wasn't being serious.
So while I was doing my stint, you went off and did a bit of a...
Yeah, I did a little wander round, and I bought a present for a special somebody. And I bought these two. So the first day we'd been chatting to Sarah from Pearlessence, who is lovely, by the way. And we were chatting about the fact that I don't drive anymore and blah, blah, blah. So she said she'd bring you on to me.
Well, we thought it might give your husband a bit of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Because when you were doing the pattern with her, she came and brought all of her yarns, and Mark thought she was leaving it behind.
He thought he was bringing me 2 tubs of yarn. Anyway, by the till, where there was this beauty. They'd only brought with them. They're like a supplier of Fiberco yarns. What's the wrong with shop for?
Retailer?
Yeah, they don't have. They only sell a few brands, don't they? And one of them is Fiberco. And this beautiful soft yarn was. The colours were amazing. Well, by the till was all the neutral kind of ones. And then I was stood chatting to Belinda's friend Maria, my new friend Maria. And these two were next to each other. So I've been thinking, I like this one, I want to go with that one. These two were next to each other. And this is Arcadia. Arcadia?
There's no R in it.
Arcadia from Fiberco.
Untamed Wilderness.
This is Long Pond, and this one is called Camden.
And it says a rustic blend of silk noil, baby alpaca and merino wool.
Yeah, and it's so soft. And they're going to be a Simon Cowell. It's DK, so I may need to fingle-fangle
go up a needle size. Go up a needle size, and maybe stripe the
ribbing or something,
because you won't have enough of one colour.
But just I'm going to give it a go because it's so beautiful.
And if you, of course you had to buy another one, it wouldn't be matter, would it?
No. And this one's got beautiful pink flecks in it. I just love it. I love them. They were next to each other. It's like, you two are meant to be. So that's what I got. And then I came and met you at Nellie and Eve, and you were just finishing up.
And we were going through to the long kiln room because we hadn't been in there.
Sorry, I just need to ditch my eye.
And that's where, so we bought the yarn that we planned to get from Nellie and Eve. So this is the colour that I had seen on her podcast, and I was like, I have to have that. It's very close to. I actually don't. Can you look up the Pantone colour of the year? Which is a chocolate mousse mocha sort of colour,
mousse, isn't it?
And this is the colour that I imagine when I think of mocha mousse, and this is earth and wood smoke, and it's a 2-layer dyeing process, I believe, and it's just beautiful.
This is the Spoonflower Wallpaper Design Challenge winner for Mockamoose. With Mockamoose.
I think that's pretty close. It looks, actually, when not on the camera, but
Mine's
in the light.
Mine's more like it.
No,
Yeah,
I think,
no, you're right.
yeah. So I wanted to do a second version of Alexander, and he's going to be done in this as one of the colours. And then I went through all of her colours that she had. Which one would go with that? What I planned was
Another,
an undyed.
so like a starker contrast, like the original.
But her undyed is much creamier than the Alexander currently is 2 tones of grey. So this is what I ended up with. I think he's going to be beautiful. So natural, and it's her single farm BFL.
Beautiful.
And it's beautiful. And then I also, this was the one that I was umming and ahhing about putting together, but I
had to have it.
There was only one of it, so
Sheep
I
to
was like, I have to keep
in
it.
under 25 miles of my studio in West Wales.
So this is Winter's Twilight, which will become, it will be something else. But I think I'm going to go with this.
Yeah.
As the Alexander.
And then I sat down and
she
well,
gave us a nice little.
I wasn't actually going to.
A nice little.
Yeah, I wasn't
as
actually going to buy any, but I sat down and these two were next to each other.
I put them next to each other.
I know. That's what Helen said to me. So these are minis in the single farm. Colours aren't on there, but they are plant dyed classics.
They're beautiful.
And so we were looking. You put this together, but we were looking at other. So I've got undyed if you want, because a lot of the other colours were in the.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't. One of them wouldn't have worked because it was the same colour as the thing. So I ended up getting.
And she only had one skein of that.
Yeah. This is Smoky Foxglove, which is beautiful. So
and it's very close to this one, but
yeah,
like a lighter, like a slightly more purpley
lavender colour. So these are going to be a Simon, a stripy Simon.
A shawl.
I don't know if I'm going to have a cowl or a shawl, because I do wear the cowl more.
I think it would be nice as a shawl.
Yeah, because you could do. Would you stripe each?
I'd work out how many repeats there are, and then divide it up.
Right. Yeah, because I don't want to do a block. I don't want to do that.
No.
I want to do.
You want to do like 5 repeats,
Yeah.
5 repeats, 5 repeats. Yeah. So work out how many.
There's 5. Yeah, well, I can work it out. I can do maths. And then and that'll be the main colour. But I don't know when that will happen, because at the moment I just like them like that.
Yeah, there was one lady who bought. There was a kit for a cowl, Fair Isle cowl that had.
They were darker colours, weren't
Yeah, and there was probably
they? More than 5?
there was definitely more than 5. There was probably more than 10. I think it was £80.
Right.
The bundle. And she was like, I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I just love the colours, and I might just put it in a vase.
Yeah, have them like
a bunch of flowers. And I was like, they're beautiful.
So this was the last one of these, and the last one of these. So it's just gorgeous.
And you got some of the blue, even though it was the darker one that you really liked, wasn't it? But
yeah, I might buy the blue if she's got any left. And her update, because it is amazing. So yeah.
So after we
so then we
had a bit of a gush about how fabulous working together has been.
Took some photos.
Yeah.
And said goodbye. Said goodbye to Helen and Sophie on the little kitchen. Didn't even get to the knitting shed because it was round. Helen from the Wall Kitchen wants a one skein version of Fizzy Pop. Well, it will never be one skein because you've got to have a pop. But
yeah.
And I'll be adding that to the pattern at some point. I think it's fairly simple, so we'll work that out and add that in for everybody who wants a narrower.
And she gave us a badge.
Yeah. And then we made it into the long kiln room.
Yeah.
Which had some beautiful vendors in.
And we
met
the Creia Bear.
The Creia Bear. So
Hi Rebecca.
Yeah, if you're watching. She said, I didn't know what you looked like, but I've heard all about you from Ruth's podcast. And another podcast that we'd not heard of is Somebody's Knitting a Simon Cowell. But it was lovely to have a chat with her and her friends. It was the Knit Purl girl and her
I didn't catch her name, did you?
Her tech editor. I didn't catch her name. But you had a lovely chat with her.
I did. She was American and she was a mathematician, and we both talking about our PhDs and stuff. So it's
so we had a nice chat with them, and then you went off to River Knits to buy something.
Yeah, I'd seen this and I because I'd looked at Spin Cycle.
How much was that?
This is £15, so you could buy 2 and a bit of these for one.
And that's 50 grams.
This is 50 grams. It's the same base. It's called Chimera, but it's the same. It's Nene. It's the same base. So I bought those two to go together for a Simon Cowell, which obviously there's more in there than I will need.
You'll have to knit some mitts.
Yeah, and there might be a bit of that left as well. But it's just gorgeous. Look at the colours, and I think there is a Spin Cycle like it. And I'm not saying that it's long colour chain like they have, but it's beautiful and very good
Much
value.
more budget friendly.
Yeah.
If you're.
And they had lots of different colours, but this one just like. And we looked
what's
at
that colourway?
This colourway is Starling, and it's British Blue Face Leicester, 100% British Blue Face Leicester, so it's really soft. And I did buy some a few years ago to knit some socks. So I might actually, and I already have the pattern sorted, so I might actually do it. And this is Blue Face Leicester as well. So lovely, soft. And 400 metres per skein. And this is Ocean Wells. And so we looked through a few of the colours and we thought the teal was the nicest. And they're lovely. We've been to they do an open.
Yeah, so that would be quite low contrast, whereas you could have picked the mustard.
Yeah. For a high, or the pale, there's like a pale blue in it.
Yeah.
A lavendery colour in that. Could have picked any of purple. So it will be low contrast, but I think easy to see which one you're knitting with. Enough of a contrast.
Yeah.
So that's gorgeous. And I'm going to find the other yarn that I got.
Yeah.
And do the socks, because it's a mosaic sock pattern, which I haven't done before. Yeah, so you were still chatting, I think, to you talked to her for a while, didn't you, Rebecca? Who's got a lovely sweater pattern out this weekend called Kintra. I'm sure everyone's heard of the Creia Bear and her amazing patterns.
But the Kintra's perfect.
What was she wearing? Which one was she wearing? The Advent one?
No. Oh. Maybe she was.
Anyway,
she's worked it out so that
she's knitted 5 of them, I think.
Yeah, you can do. There's a 4-ply and a DK version.
She's got one which is mohair in the yoke, and then foreplay, I think. And then she's worked it out so that you could do 24 minis in the yoke.
If you've got an advent left over.
You will always have, holding it together, you'll always have enough yarn in the mini to do the round. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, to pop over and give her some love. And then we went to Woolen Flower, which is a lovely maker from Scotland.
But she's New Zealand, Australia.
Yeah, she lives in Scotland, doesn't she? And she uses a lot, I think it's Scottish fabric she uses. And we got the same thing. We were looking at all the different bags, and Rachel picked this one up.
As you can probably imagine why.
And there were lots of others but they didn't have the same pattern on both sides. And I really like.
Oh, I thought you liked the difference.
I do like the difference, but I really like it.
Yeah.
And then we were.
She said, she said, "Oh, I've got a
small
medium
one.
size in that."
So this is large. That's medium. Is it?
So I actually wanted a more of a sock one. So perfect. So I got the same fabric, but mine's got a coral zip. And yours is, and it's a little bit smaller, just a bit shorter. It's not like that much, tiny bit smaller and short, but it's perfect for socks.
So I've already put my project in here because
that's what you
go so well.
That's what you thought you were thinking about, weren't you, when you saw it as well? So
this is Alexander.
Yes. So a few projects are going to get moved over to the new bags.
Yeah.
This afternoon, and
then
the last thing we did, you finally
we went to Loom, who was next door to Woolen Flower, and you got stitch markers.
Yes, I love these stitch stoppers. Maggie bought me some for my birthday, and we love them because they're flat and they don't roll around when you put them down.
And they're also quite small for socks.
Yeah,
quite good for socks.
They're perfect.
And I bought some soap.
And I've just broken tie.
In the fragrance Celebration, which I've never had, but I quite like that florally.
Yeah, it was beautiful. You were smelling them all, weren't you?
So
oh no.
Yeah, so I finally got myself some wool wash.
How much did it cost?
It was £18.
Cramping my thumb.
So yeah, that was. I've managed to fulfil mine.
Yes.
Yeah. So then that was about 1:30.
Yeah.
And we had said we were going to go and
have lunch,
find a pub on the way home to have some lunch. But what we ended up doing was you went back to the car with all the stuff.
Yeah.
I joined the queue for the drinks in the cafe, bought us some lovely lemon mint sparkling.
What was the brand? Foxingtons. What's that?
Foddingtons? Fotheringtons?
Something
like that. Beginning of an F.
Really
and
lovely.
a ton.
Lemonade with mint.
It wasn't Featherington.
We remember that.
Packet of crisps. Ham and Colman's mustard. They were amazing. You're going to buy a box, aren't you?
Well, I don't know about that.
And a biscuit.
Yeah, we're all set for this journey home, and it was a lovely, quick.
Yeah, really.
We've had some horrendous journeys back from Unravel.
There was a lot of traffic on the road to London.
Yeah,
which might have meant there was less traffic on our road because people couldn't get through or whatever. But we were home within like an hour and 15 minutes, and we both then had to sleep. We made a cup of tea, started watching a TV show, zonked. But yeah, and then
we had
we tried to have a Chinese for tea, and
they're all still on.
They're all still out for Chinese New Year, so we ended up in Burger King, which was delicious. And I don't go to Burger King very often, so I was very happy with that. I had a milkshake. Lovely. Yeah. It was lovely. We realised halfway through that Rachel had got my big straw for my milkshake, And I was trying to suck milkshake up through a normal drink straw. And Mark was like, Joe's like...
the amount of energy you have to use to drink your milkshake.
But it was delicious. And we came back, and we like a good murder mystery, cheesy murder mystery. So we watched Good Ship Murder and started watching Vera, and I was like, no, I'm going to sleep. And it was a lovely... It felt like we kept thinking it was Sunday. All day we thought it was Sunday. All afternoon we thought it was Sunday. Anyway, we had a lovely time.
Yeah, we have.
So,
fill in
comment below for a chance to win the gift away. Let us know. So I'll mention Unravel in your comment, even if you just say Unravel at the beginning.
So Joe's going home quite soon after this, so she will do the show notes later. So there'll be all the information will be down below.
What I'll be doing is linking all of the people we've purchased something off with their Instagram account. If I know somebody's got a podcast, I might put a link to their latest episode in. And
if they don't have an Instagram, which I don't think
most don't have an Instagram.
But if you want to know
anything about it, just send us a message.
More information, just message us on Instagram. Probably is best, or
and
say in your comment below.
2 weeks time we'll be podcasting again. I'm hoping at that point I'll have test call for Alexander and maybe the Hillary Cowl.
And Joe's going to make me. She's going to not guilt me. That's the wrong word. She's going to into writing the pattern for the crochet for the shawl.
So we'll be back in a couple of weeks, and then we'll be announcing the winner of the gift away.
Yeah.
Keep posting in our Ravelry store your whips
in our podcast group. On Ravelry and tagging us on Instagram, showing us what you're making.
We love to see your versions of things. People have such beautiful ideas, and Dorita's idea for her Alexander is just going to be out of this world. So she's having yarn dyed for it. So special. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
And we've got the East Anglia Yarn Festival coming up in about a month.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to be buying quite so much yarn there, but we really want to see everybody. We can't wait to see you. So come up and say hello. A few people did come up and say hi. They'd been nervous before, but because we told them to come up and say hello and not be nervous, they did, and that was really good. So we met lots of people. Kept saying we were taller than they'd expected. So it was really fun to meet and we met people who watch, our
lovely
subscribers.
Wellbeing Knits, and they brought their cowls to show me. One had knitted, she test knitted the Simply Beautiful, and her friend who was Chappie Knits, who won the prize last time, whatever when it was, she'd won the prize. She'd knitted a Crest of a Wave cowl, and it's lovely to see them. Yeah, we always like seeing people and being shown your versions of things. So that was lovely. So if you're going to be at the East Anglia, we're there on this Saturday afternoon and the Sunday. Come and say hi, and we'll catch up then. Yeah, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another podcast. Have a good rest of the weekend and happy knitting. Bye.